Today, we're going to be taking a look at two of the biggest cannon fodder things I have ever seen. This is the Star Wars Black Series Phase 2 Clone Trooper and Battle Droid 2-pack, which I got from Amazon for about $40, which is about the price of a single Black Series figure. Here is the box. You get a weird one. It's meant to just be thrown away. I attached a tab on it, mainly because I hang my figures from the wall. But that's only because I don't have a place to put them. Which is a bit of a problem, isn't it? But as far as it goes, these guys are a nice duo to get. They're two big cannon fodder guys, good background extras, good things just to have, even if you're a kid buying toys, because they're just guys, you know? They're regular dudes. They're just cannon fodder. What are you going to do with them? Anyway, you get two of them. Let's take a look at them. I'm going to take a look at the droid first because he is significantly worse than the clone trooper. And so taking a look at the B1 battle droid here, he is alright. He's fine, but his main issue is he can't stand at all. I had to use a stand in the opening, and most of the pictures he has a stand because he just can't. I got him to stand one time, and then I knocked him over. It was very sad. And it mostly comes from the fact that he's just really thin, and he also lacks a lot of the ankle articulation that most figures have because of how thin he is. He also lacks a lot of other articulation because of how thin he is. And that's just the battle droid design. It's one of those unconventional designs. It's just like translating it. I mean, it looks good here. One thing I kind of hate is I wish his head sat a little lower so it's more like this. But unfortunately, it doesn't. It sits looking like upward, and if I move it anywhere forward, it's way too far down. And it's because the hinge here is ratcheted, and this one here, the ball joint, it stops just before the point in which I would want it to go down more. So it's more or less, I don't think it's just my figure, I think it's just the mold, because it just does not move anywhere else. It's kind of iffy. But that's him, I guess, looking at his detailing, and there's not much. His arms, he does have a bit of silver on his bicep, and that's it. His torso is basically unpainted, except for some silver on those little side thingies. And his legs, they're just beige. There's nothing, not a lick of silver anywhere on the legs, which is a shame. There's just very little paint on him. Honestly, there's very little. He does have his backpack, which is there, and these are painted silver, the little antennas. They also go up and down. I gotta watch the big one. Almost snapped it off. Boom. There we go. And he does have swappable backpacks for another accessory. You can get rid of that big one for this more sleek one, which just goes on there like that. Same thing. Nothing really different, except it's not as, bulky, I guess. But I prefer the bulky backpack. I just like it more. Also goes on a lot easier for some reason. And then his main gun is essentially just the basic battle droid gun. You're not going to get anything different from it. It is a battle droid gun. It came with the commando droid we reviewed a little bit ago. Same thing. And it does have a little peg on the side that does connect into the backpack. So if you did want, you can kind of get it in there. You gotta kind of force it, though. It doesn't stay in great either way, but it's there. You can use it, and that's essentially a good segue into doing his articulation, which is pretty alright. It does have a ball joint at the head. These little things back here move. He does have a ratcheted neck, like I said, which is a bit of a hindrance. I wish it was just a hinge. He then has forward and back the arms. No outward. That's as much as you're getting. A swivel at the top, an elbow, a swivel down here, a swivel at the wrist, inward and outward. No waist, but he kind of has a forward and back function. And this is the thing I just got to mention, is I was thinking back to when I was a kid with the 3¾ inch Clone Wars ones. They had a rotation up here. They easily could have did that, but they just didn't. And it sucks. Forward and back, no out, knee joint goes well beyond 90, a ankle tilt, and that's it. That's him. He has no swivels in the legs, no anything. He's just not doing anything. But he does have one more little feature before we get to the clone trooper, which is he can transform technically, by technicality alone. Start. Push down these things. Take his head, do this. And then take his arms, fold them up like so. Put them back like that. Take his legs, fold them up, scrunch them good. And there you go. What is this? The carrier form for when he's in the, why am I forgetting what that thing is called? The big brown tank thing. That's what I'm going to call it, the big brown tank thing, because I'm blanking on the name of it. Yeah, you just kind of put him in that state, like he's folded up. That's it. That's all you could do. It's something. At least he does it, I guess. It's a little thing, but it's a nice touch. You know, it's one of those little things that, yeah, it's cool, but I wish you might have put some more time and effort elsewhere. Also, the neck comes out like that. No reason. Like, you'd think it's for that, but the same range is available with it pushed down, so I'm not sure why the neck extends. It just does. But that is it for the battle droid, so let's just get to the better of the two, which is the clone. And the clone trooper is, of course, just a Phase 2 shiny clone. He's just full white with the black accents from the undersuit, which look great. Looking at the arms, you can see the detailing on the undersuit there, looking good. Looks good. It's generic armor. The right one does have the communicator. The torso is your nice clone armor. Again, very shiny. There's that slate black 2 lines up there. I'm not sure what that is. Then the legs, again, very well armored, but the knee pads are loose comparatively to the rest of the figure. The other ones I own, the knee pads are like pegged into the back of the leg, but not this time. They're just loose, chilling out. And as far as his accessories go, he comes with a DC-15 blaster rifle and, of course, a DC-15 carbine. So you get 2 guns. So pick your poison, do what you will with it, or give that one there to someone else. I don't know. This just looks good, honestly. There's not really a lot wrong. Again, with the paint, there's not a ton. The bits of black break it up, though, compared to the battle droid, which is nice. The helmet does have the spots of blue and then the gray up there. And there's this. Unlike a lot of other clones, removable helmet for a regular guy. Just a guy. He's not a commander. There's multiple commanders that they have released that don't have removable helmets. How did that happen? I know a lot of them are old, but Commander Gree, I believe, is on this body. And him being on this body means technically they're doing the thing again. Which is there's a white head underneath that helmet. Which they often do for most clones. But in the case of the random Phase 2 character, they just said, no, give him a head sculpt. They also did that for the purple 187th Trooper, but not the brown 187th Trooper. The paint-wise, which is really odd. I really don't like that they do that. If you're going to bother to put a head under there, just paint it. Stop being cheap about it and paint it. Because the thing I noticed, I guess, is that you either get, especially if it's a commander, you either get the head and just the pistols, or you don't get the head and you get multiple guns. That's how that's been. The only exception to that rule is Echo right now. ARC Trooper Echo is the only one I've had the exception of that rule of a painted head. Actually, the Jet Trooper doesn't have a painted head, but he's just an odd guy. But essentially, yeah, that's him. Other than, of course, his articulation, which is pretty alright. Actually, it's not pretty alright. It's actually really good comparatively to the old clones from 2020. We have these nice joint up here at the head, forward and back, outward at the arm. Unlike Fives and Echo, beautiful outward because the shoulder pad is on an O-ring. Good one. He also has a butterfly joint, which looks good and works. Nice. Elbow, bicep swivel, hand rotation in and out, and this one goes up and down. Then has a forward and back crunch along with a waist swivel, forward, back, outward, knee joint goes a little beyond 90, a nice ankle tilt, and a forward and back. And that is his articulation, and that is essentially that for the clone trooper. And of course, his little friend, the battle droid. So let's get the battle droid in here for some final thoughts. Yeah, they're just guys, you know? They're good. And I mean, the clone trooper carries, if I'm being honest. The battle droid's nice. You don't regret having a battle droid. It's always nice to have a battle droid. But the clone trooper is just 10 times better. He's the best aspect of this thing, and he has his own individual release. Oh. Again, I paid the base, I think I paid $5. I think it was $45. So I basically paid $5 for this guy. And that's it, you know? Like $45 for a battle droid and a clone. That's worth it, in my opinion, because keep in mind that's Canadian. Because Canadian-wise, it's $40 for a Black Series or a Marvel Legend or a Transformer in the typical scaling, not the deluxes. The deluxes are a little bit more than that. They're like $10 more. But, I mean, this guy just works. They just work together well. They do good stuff. But, and this is the but, if you don't care for the droid, he does have an individual release. But again, at this point, if you get them on sale, which they regularly put these sets on sale, there is 2 other ones that I know of, which is the Stormtrooper and Rebel Fleet Trooper, and then they're either releasing or have just recently released a Phase 1 Trooper and a B2 Battle Droid, which is the Super Battle Droid. They've released them as troop packs, so if you're just interested in that, I mean, again, these are good troop builder packs, and that's basically what they're for. That's why the box is so disposable. They know what you're going to do with them. They're just guys to have around. They're background extras. They're guys that use for cannon fodder. They're just good. And I think they're both pretty alright. The Battle Droid, he gets like a 2, honestly. He's not great. It's just the articulation, but I'm pretty sure he is an older figure from the red and black box days. So he is a bit of an old figure. And then for him, he's just better. He's new. He's a newer figure. So it makes sense that he's better, right? It makes sense the clone is way better. He's better than most of the clones I own because of the articulation change to the shoulder. And also having a removable helmet. It just doesn't make sense that a lot of the characters don't. It's a complaint I have about clones in general, even the Mandalorians do it, but it's just something dumb, honestly. But that is essentially them. That is them. I think they're great. He is getting, honestly, he gets 5 out of 5. He's perfect. This is a perfect thing. This is perfect. I don't care. This is perfect. This is 2 out of 5, though. Battle Droid. He sucks. Battle Droid's kind of eh. He's not the worst thing ever, but he's just kind of a Battle Droid. I mean, he's cannon fodder. Boom. But that is essentially it for this review. This has been my review of the Star Wars Black Series, Phase 2 Clone Trooper, and Battle Droid 2-pack. This has been Ilta Delete signing out.